Sorry, guys, I was muted. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. This is the last Friday and the last day of the month of April. Yes, yes, yes. The days are flying. Anyways, welcome to Chat with Ade. I'm your host, Ade Tiladende, and welcome to Adiba Connected TV. If you're not subscribing to our channel yet, I don't know why, but you should go to YouTube and subscribe to Adiba Connector TV. And you can also click the bell button to be notified as a VIP. As soon as we drop any content, you'll be one of the first to be notified. Hmm? I think that's great. So in the meantime, please, as you're joining, don't forget to let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to say hello to me. Don't be shy. And in the meantime, I'm going to play a little bit of music. Ojuloge, hi darling, how are you doing? How is your day going, and how are you prepared for the weekend? Of course, let people know where you're watching from. For those who are new to the platform, we'd like to have communication. We like to talk. You can ask questions. You can give us your comments, your opinion. It's not just me talking. We like to have a conversation. And of course, we are having a guest this evening, and her name is Mrs. Catherine Adewale. And we're going to be talking, of course, about child abuse. Clearly, that is what has been reigning right now in the social media, especially in when it comes to Nigeria. But for the meantime, stay tuned. Try and click that share button. Let's try and get as much people onto the platform as possible. Let them enjoy this conversation with us. Don't be selfish. Okay. So I'm going to play a little bit of music, and it is William McDowell, As We Worship. That's the name of the album, and the name of the song is I Give Myself Away. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. I Give Myself Away, William McDowell, and I'm not playing it from the beginning. Okay. So in the meantime, while I'm playing the music, please click the share button. Let me also invite some of my friends and families to join us on this platform, and we'll be right back. Let me know if you can hear the song. If you can't, let me know. Can hear? Thank you. You belong. I give myself to you. So I'm trying to invite some of my friends to come on. I hope that is what you're also doing. Let me click that share button. Let's get more people onto the platform, please. Thank you. Give myself to you. You are big. Give myself to you. Love is not my own. You are big. Give myself to you. Hello, Negro. How you doing? Happy Friday. Please let me click that share button and let us know where you're watching from. I belong myself, so give myself to you. You I belong. Give myself, so give myself to myself away. You I belong. Give myself to you. Yes, yes, yes. What did it feel like when someone $1,000 with OLG? Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Watching from North York. Yes, yes. Welcome, 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 Negro. Okay, guys. So let's not prolong things because we do have a guest. But we have to do a little bit of commercial. Okay, so for those who are new to the platform, and let me introduce you to adibabes.com, where you can get your lashes and more, lip mats. You can get vendors lists, about over 1,000 vendors lists in order for you to start your own online business. Vendors lists in regards to hair, makeup, bags, shoes, different items on the list in for you to start your own online business. There's even what do you call it? It's an ebook on drop shipping and how to start an online business. You can get those ebooks also on the platform. So don't dull yourself. Get on www.adibabes.com and start making some little change. From little change, it becomes big change. And of course, you guys, let me introduce you to Office Palaver. Is one of my little projects that we're working on. But I would like you guys to go on Instagram and put Office Palaver and stay tuned to what we're going to be dropping very, very soon. All right, guys. And yes, we cannot forget our sponsors, Afroway Cargo Logistics Inc., where if you want to send any package to Nigeria or any package from Nigeria to Canada, it's maximum 7 days, well, 5 to 7 days, and you have your delivery. And of course, we do have our Boridella jewelry, Yeye Ajay _Adironke. If you want your gold fashion jewelry, she is definitely the plug to get that. And if you guys are not on Correct Commerce, where buyers and sellers meet, get on with that. Get on. If you have anything you want to trade, anything you want to give as a gift, you want to give as free. If there's anything you want to sell or you're looking to buy anything, just plug into correctcommerce.com. We also have our app. You can download the app on your iPhone or on your Android phone. You can download the app and get Correct Commerce app. And then, of course, we have Quick Collect. If you want to send money, you want to receive money from Nigeria to Canada, that is the plug. Quick Collect. They also have an app. You can go on their website, quickcollect.com, and they are also on the other social medias. You heard. And then, of course, if you mention a day, you understand, you can get 1 or 2 discounts. Don't dull yourself. Awesome, sis. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to be inviting our guests um, very soon. I believe she's about to come back in. She was in earlier. She's going to be coming back in soon. And we're pretty much going to be talking about child abuse. Hmm. So I'm sure a lot of us online at the moment, we've definitely heard about some of the headlines that are going on, especially in the community of the Nigerian community, where, a man, stage name Babai Joshua, has pretty much been caught in the act of harassing or sexually harassing, fiddling with a 14-year-old, and it was made known to us that he clearly has done it 7 years before. And if you've definitely heard that, please just raise your hand up, say hi. Yep, you've heard it, you've seen it going around in social media. Let me know, and let me know, of course, what is your take on it also. It's very controversial in the aspect of a lot of this Nollywood colleagues are going back and forth with each other. And I totally think that is very absurd, because we all know what is wrong is wrong. And if it's right, we know it's right. So let's call a spade a spade. What this man did is clearly wrong in togetherness. Okay, so our guest is back on. So I'm going to be introducing her. Her name is Mrs. Catherine Adewale. Welcome. She's a
Hi.
she's the
Hello.
CEO of Vladol Hair Extension. So I'm sure you guys, the hair plug she has on right now is from her.
That's right.
So you guys need to get on that. She's also a real estate agent and investor, and she's an advocate for women all around the world. So you're welcome, sis. Welcome, welcome. We're
Thank
happy to
you
have
so much. Thank you.
you. I love the purple. The purple
Thank
lipstick.
you. I'm
That's
excited to
cute.
be here.
Yeah. So I was already talking. And I was talking about how, of course, Babai Joshua, as right now, is this news that is going around in the social media in
Yeah.
regards to being caught in the act of child abuse or sexual assault of a minor. And as we all know, it didn't just start today. As we all know, it's something that is still ongoing. And especially when we're talking about the culture in back home in Nigeria, it's somewhat, I would say, accepted or somewhat negligence in regards to it is not being spoken about. They do not talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not happening. It's happening, but it's being ignored. What is your take?
Yeah. The first thing is I want to talk about Baba Ijebu. People are now referring to him as Baba Ijebu. He has a name. And
Yes.
I always, once you're a perpetrator, I really want to know you by your name, just internationally. His name, for those of you who do not know his name and know him as Baba Ijebu, his name is Olarewaju James. That's his real name. So I'll be referring to him as Olarewaju James. Um, yes, I'm an advocate for women and also for children. I've got kids of my own, and this is so sad. I've heard a lot of people talk online and said, they want proof. They want to be sure that this thing actually happened. And I don't blame some people. And that's because so many people are in jail today as a result of something they did not commit. But with that being said, I think when a child tells you she's been touched or he's been abused, you have to carry out your investigation. You don't throw that away. You need to know what happened actually, and not think that, like you said, traditionally, or the things that happen in Nigeria, when a child comes and tell you something has happened to her, one, you should understand that kids, it's so hard for children to tell you when something happened to them. So when they come and tell you that, you have to swing into action. Now, Babek Jebu actually took advantage of this child, because I say one thing, and I don't see that all the time when you're actually researching why children have been hurt. You don't research that. One of the things is trust. People over trust. They trust people around them. Mothers feel, oh, I'm not going to side anybody on this. I'm going to, apportion blames as it's supposed to be. Because you have a 7-year-old girl, a child, a minor in the house, and you had to walk somebody to the gate. I mean, I'll go with my child regardless. You don't just trust an adult, because some of them, you don't know what's happening in their head. You don't know the urges they have. You don't know what they are capable of doing when you're not there. A 7-year-old child is defenseless, cannot defend herself, cannot even say 2 or 3 sentences together, let alone leave that child unattended, whether it's 2 minutes or 1 minute or 1 second. The way we treat our children when we have them from childbirth is the way we should treat them until they are adults, 18 years old, where they can defend themselves. So trust is a very big issue in Nigeria, because, we come from a background where, oh, my sister is great, my brother is great, we have Christian brothers, we have community taking care of our children, but that's not the case. What do you find? There's a lot of abuse going on. And sexual abuse, it's just going on. Was it because Baba Ijebu was caught in the act? He would have denied it if they had just asked him that simple question. Did you do this? He would have denied it. And there are a lot of children who are suffering as a result of trust issues. People really, really trust people around them. And it shouldn't be like that. It is absurd, and it's so sad to hear people say, oh, we want to see the CCTV footage. I mean, what do you want to see? It's enough that this child has said what she has said. It's enough that they already have a CCTV. People were just like, oh, he only touched. Really? That you want to get to the point where he's actually doing that?
Actually rapes her.
Crazy. I am so sorry, but I have to say this here. And sometimes footage, you see some videos in circulation on the internet, phones, minors are being, shared all over. And when you hear people who share them, they tell you, oh, I'm just sharing it because I want you to know what's happening so you can watch it for your children. No, you can describe it. You can write it. You can get somebody to write it as an article. You do not have to share the video of a minor in an unpleasant situation. Okay? When you look at abusers, people make out or they make excuses for themselves, just like the case of Mr. Olarewaju James, popularly known as Baba Ijebu. Oh, he has issues with spiritual issues and all of that. Those things come into play after they've been caught. It has to stop. People have to take responsibility for their actions. We are supposed to be there to protect these children and not to take advantage of them.
Negro Ode says, child abuse should be zero tolerance.
That's correct.
Ojiloge says, I weep at some people's understanding of saying why it wasn't reported when it happened. I believe when it happened, when she was 7, nobody knew about it. It was when it just happened when she was 14. That's when she now spoke about what happened when she was 7. So no one was aware of that.
Yeah, and that was because they asked her. You know what I mean?
Yes. Because at 7, she probably wasn't even able to articulate what happened. But correct. By the time she's now 14 and it happens again, yes, she's not able to actually relate what did happen to her. And yes, like Negro says, child abuse should be zero tolerance. What I did when I did a little bit of research, I found that even in Canada here, it's like you get 18 months for child abuse, like and then in Nigeria, a lawyer spoke about it in the last program I was yesterday. He said for how did he say it? He said if it's for a rape, if it's for rape of a minor, you can get up to life imprisonment. But then if it's just for like a sexual assault of a minor, you can get up to 7 years. You can, but it all varies depending on, the what surrounds the story and evidence and whatnot. Okay, so we've everybody has seen what's happened. I don't think there's anyone that should be questioning right now if he did assault the young girl or not. I'm sure we are all in the same space when we say yes, he did that. We don't need to wait for him to rape her for him to be charged and spend some time behind bars. Now this is going haywire. A lot of these actors and actresses are putting so much energy into this situation. I think right now my take is what happens next. Not just so much of the Larry Waju, not
Yeah.
about him per se,
No.
because in the situation of this is going on in our community, is going on, and most people are being hush about it. It's either they say it's the culture, it's religious, you don't want to let people know that one uncle, one auntie, one house help, one neighbor, godfather, or something. You don't want to say that this person is harassing you or has pretty much raped you because you don't want to spoil the name of the family, or you don't want to be blacklisted. You don't want to be shunned, because who wants to marry a young girl that has been raped? you know who would be comfortable with this young guy that has been raped, and it's like the culture of, when it happens, please, 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 don't let everybody know. Let's keep it within the family. The culture of, let's just pray about it, let's forgive, let's forgive them and move on. That culture now, how do we go from what is happening right now? How do we now shift? How do we try to make awareness of what's happening in the community? Because this is happening and people are still so ignorant about it.
Well, you talk about cultural thing, yes, but globally, it's the same thing too. Depending on the abuser. If the abuser happened to be the child's father, mother doesn't want you to say it. Sisters, auntie, don't bring that out. So it's got nothing to do with back home. We are in this day and age where technology has taken over everything, unfortunately. So if you keep hiding, be rest assured that somebody is going to say something one day along the line somewhere, and it's sad to know that people are still having that mentality that you don't have to say anything. You need to bury this because it has happened. We only cry wolf, wolf, if it's somebody else. If it's your uncle, you won't be crying wolf. You want to keep it in the family. It has to stop. It has to stop. There's no shame. These are victims. They've been victimized. And, they're the heroes here. It's not about Olanrewaju as a matter of fact. It's about the girl. She's the hero. The fact that she had to relive it a second time, I can only imagine what she had gone through that moment. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be in the head of these people who commit this act. You don't want to make excuses anymore. We are tired. I'm a mom. I have to guide my children. I have to talk to my children. And I think one of the problem is education. We need to educate ourselves on how to talk to our children. Things are changing. Why do we pick on one aspect of life and forget the other? And we talk about tradition. The girl child is now educated. We're going to school. We're being educated. There are a lot of awareness. Why do we want to hide the other part? It's ignorance. And there is no shame. Unlike before, Ade babes. You know how before they tell you, it's a stigma. You shouldn't say that. I am so sorry, but I have to throw this in here. You have kids who are last born or last kids or last children who are adult right now, and they have the same father, but not the same mother. Probably the elder sister happens to be his mother, but that secret is in the house because of abuse. It's crazy. It's over. We should love these victims and not victimize them more. We should not become that trauma for them and feel, oh, look at that girl. They shouldn't be known by what had happened to them, but they should be known as heroes for coming out to speak out. Because so many people will go to their graves with what has happened to them. There is a lot that goes, people just see the abuse. What about the after effect of this abuse? Some of these children commit suicide.
Ah,
Don't you guys feel it? Some of
it's
these children are already messed up. They just quote their face just like how I have this makeup on my face right now. Inside, they are messed up.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Some people don't have a 360 turnaround. They don't have that opportunity. Do we ever think about what the life of this child will be later in the future? We're trying to build a society that is free of pollution. And you're having a child who could not tell you anything because of the fact that you don't want to be, you don't want that stigma to be associated with your family. It has to stop. There is awareness. We during the COVID-19, people came out, shared stuff, clothes, food, and all of that. Love. Why can't we do the same? We don't have to sit down and wait for something to happen before we scream, because it could be avoided. We cannot totally eradicate it, but we can at least reduce the number by doing something about it, by talking about it. You find mothers don't even want to talk about sex to their children. It's not about the sex, it's about the language. You can use languages. You call a 3-year-old and you say to the 3-year-old, don't allow anybody touch you here, here, and you're here. I mean, you don't have to use the words, but you can tell them, and you check periodically, because your home is your first business, whether you like it or not. And if you fail in your home, you cannot survive anywhere else.
Yeah. Well said.
You are the CEO of your home. These children cannot, they are defenseless. They cannot think for themselves. So do not assume that an adult is there, he's going to take care of that child, or the auntie is there, they will end up messing those children up.
Life.
So kids will have you, they will blame you in the future.
Yeah, because where were you?
Exactly.
Where were you?
I've had people say things to me, and I'd be like, really? Yes, from house helps. Why can't you? We cannot mitigate all of this, but at least we can try.
Yeah.
It can be mitigated to some extent. We can try. You find out, oh, I'm going to work 6 p.m. or 5 o'clock. I have to take my daughter to a 13-year-old child to my brother or to my uncle or to the neighbors. Really? There's so many questions people would ask. How do I do this? I have a 13-year, I have to go to work. Well, if it happens, you will sit your ass down, and excuse my language, in the house. Exactly.
At that point, you have no choice. You must sit.
Exactly. You're going to an office where everything has been laid out for you. You have a meeting, you have a culture, you have people talk to you about your task. What about your home? Find a solution. Find a solution. Until you find a solution, that child is at risk. So don't come crying. Don't come talking about it when it happens, because it could have been mitigated. It could have been avoided. We are not saying it can be eradicated 100%, but we can reduce the number. Ignorance is not acceptable.
Kazim says, well said. Negro says, you are right. The kids are very vulnerable. And then he says, what's the relationship between the victim and the abuser we are talking about? Pretty much the abuser was a friend of the guardian that was watching over the child. He was a friend, he needed some help, and then he came to her. She was assisting him. That was how it was, welcomed into the home. So nothing more than that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to even pay too much attention on the case scenario itself. I just want us to talk more about the topic, because it's so important we discuss this. We need to be talking about it more in our homes. We need to be comfortable talking about this, because Ms. Catherine just said, we don't know how to speak to our children. We don't know how to communicate with them. And gone are the days where you cannot speak. Nowadays, everything is online. Nowadays, all their friends, they are talking about it. So gone are those days where you cannot speak, and then maybe you are trying to protect only the females. Nowadays, you can't just protect only females. You have to protect both the females and the males, because both boys and girls are being abused. Both boys and girls are being raped. So it affects both boys and girls. So we can't say, oh, it's only the female, don't go here, don't go there. We have to think about our males soon. I think that's also one of the issue. We ignore the boys and think because they are boys, they will be okay. Let's not forget that these abusers also abuse boys. We have these female house helps that will rape these boys, that do rape these boys. You have uncles that will and do rape these boys. So we also need to remember that it's not just only girls that we need to think about. We need to think about both the girls and the boys. It's very important. So when we talk about children, we mean children in all ratification of children, not just girls. And we believe the reason why we're talking about this is not just because it's a hot topic, but it's because of it's a topic that needs to be continually spoken about. We need to keep talking about it until everybody or until most people are comfortable talking about it. It's not until when something like this happens, then we all blast the whole internet and argue and fight and say, which side do you belong? Who side are we? Is there a side to be belonging to? No, what is wrong is wrong.
That's right. What is wrong is wrong. You know,
you don't want to have to experience it before you know. And then, you know, when the act happens, it happens. And sometimes we forget that, okay, after this whole ordeal, because right now the social media is going to come, it's going to go, it's going to fade. Something else is going to take over social media. What happens to this victim?
Mm-hmm.
What happens to her 5 years from now? Is either she gets into a drug problem, abuse some kind of drug, abuse alcohol, or she starts to cut herself, depression kicks in, or when it comes to socializing, she's not able to socialize properly or even socialize with the opposite sex. Or sometimes some of these young girls, we end up actually now trying to fill the void of having this matured man. They want matured men in their life. They can't even relate with their age mates. They want these older men in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, what happens is they also just start sleeping around because they're trying to fill this void. So it happens to, I mean, the reactions or the effects of such things it varies with different child, with different, individual. It varies. Sometimes we see a lot of these people nowadays that we judge them. We don't know what was behind. What has happened years ago? What has happened? Why they are reacting? Why they're acting this way? It's not because, they just want to behave like that. No, sometimes because something tragic already happened in their past and it has not been spoken about. They have not put attention to it. They don't even realize that this is the effect of anything. Most people don't even realize it. So in as much as, yes, the law seems to be have been put in place, but now it's not just about now the law is in place, but is how are they enforcing that law? Because we know how it is in back home, especially. Mm-hmm. So far as if you have some political affiliations, you have money, you're a celebrity, it's very easy to just get away with this.
Very easy. Very easy. And that's so sad. So sad. Because you hear a lot of cases back home where these perpetrators just walk. They walk. It's like it's a norm.
Wait. Some of them will walk. We even hear that they walk.
Yeah.
Some of them will now decide to destroy the victim's life in totality.
That's right.
Because they don't want them to speak.
That's right. They come back and turn into the victims themselves. Because of your affluence, because of who you are in the society, you think the less privileged can talk, and you think you can just shut these people down. Well, what goes around comes around. Like you said, there should be awareness. People are beginning to talk about things like this. And that's the thing. That's a shift right there. There's going to be a shift because the more we talk about it, the more we say to ourselves, we're no longer going to be quiet about things like this. If it happens, we're going to call you out. And then you begin to see that shift. Other people will come up. And then let's see how you're going to walk away from this.
That's one of the reasons why I believe I have to say actress Iyabo Ojo she's being very adamant.
That's right.
It's because she knows when you are a celebrity, it's easy for you to get away with things. But when it's being brought to the limelight, everybody now is paying attention. So that's whoever even is behind cannot be bribed because they are being watched.
Exactly.
The judge has to do proper because they are being watched.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, now we have to, as soon as it happens, it's not, we shouldn't have that culture of no,
No.
let's not spoil the name, the
No.
family
Let's
name.
scream.
Scream it out. Next
Scream.
time they will think
We'll
twice
call
before they
you
say
out.
anything.
That's right. And you see, because that's the thing that happens in Nigeria. If you're able to scream, you're able to talk, and you have people who support you, regardless, you will find justice. Okay? People get tired. We know there's bribery, there's corruption, there are things happening over there. We know people are very influential when it comes to cases like this. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, we need justice. We need justice for this 14-year-old child. She's a minor. Please stop asking questions whether she's big. She might be those kids that are really big. What did you just say? Kid. She's a kid.
Kid. That's very
She's a
relevant.
kid.
What
Please.
is her size at 14?
That's
Hey.
right. And that's why people don't speak up, because they know that even when they do, they don't find justice. It has to change.
They're being mocked.
Exactly.
Kazim says we all need to build a strong and friendly relationship with our kids.
Yeah.
Either male or female child. Sex education would also play a vital role in educating our kids.
That's correct.
Well said. Good point, Ade. Good point. Dr. Leslie says there are clinically psychological modalities that should be pursued to take care of the victims of pedophilia and give them as close to normal life as possible. The identity of the victim has to be protected, as in rape shield laws. Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Definitely. When it comes, especially when it comes to a child being abused, yes, the identity is a must. It needs to be protected. But the abuser, we need to shout it out. The abuser, people need to know this is the abuser.
Exactly. So you can take to your heels when you see him. Because when they release them out there, somebody else is going to be a prey.
That's it.
The truth.
I think here in Canada and in America also, there's actually there's a website where anyone that has been convicted of pedophilia, their name actually goes into this site. So if it doesn't matter, I think it's there for life. If not, maybe like 20 years or so, like that.
For a long time, a very long time.
For a very long time. So, if you want to do a little research, you want to find out about the individual, you can go on this website and find if this person has that embargo on their head. And I think that would be great if you also have that in Nigeria. That would be superb. Negro says abuse can come back to hurt you after decades. Look at Bill Cosby today.
That's correct.
Agreed. Well said, sir. Titi said, we Canada, we have a directory. That's just what I was saying. We have a directory where the name is being kept. Yes, thank you for that. Adesu says sex offender lists in each country. Yes, that's why I said since we have it in both America and Canada, we definitely, and I'm sure we have it in different other countries, we definitely need that in Nigeria. And I think that's something else we need to push for when it comes to the laws in Nigeria. We need to have that sex offender registry list. You can check if anyone with the felony lives in your neighborhood. Yes, and I love it because it showcases your neighborhood. Anybody with a felony in your neighborhood, so you can tell if there's anybody in the neighborhood that has a felony of what do you call it? Pedophilia.
Yeah.
So that's because the children go to the park and they should be free in their neighborhood. So when you know that such person is in your neighborhood, everybody takes heels, or sometimes I believe you can even talk about it to try to push them out, especially when it's a neighborhood that is full of kids, or there's a school, elementary school, or around the corner. I've heard a lot of communities that have done that and pushed the pedophilia what do you even call them?
Pedophiles.
Yeah, pedophiles, and push them out of the community because they said no, their children are not safe.
Yeah.
So I believe that's something Nigeria, they're still behind, but I believe that's something they can definitely try to push for. So do you have any do you have any advice for the modern day parents, knowing fully well that it's hard, trying to make ends meet, most jobs now, one job is not enough. You either have to be doing a business, have two jobs to try to, to make ends meet. And especially for single parents where it's hard to be present fully in the life of the child and try to pay the bills. What is the advice you would give some of this, our parents on how to be watchful or how to be a bit more sensitive to the surroundings and to our children in order to avoid or eliminate limits, such issue coming up in the family, in the home?
This will never be a singular issue. It means it can happen to anyone. And I think a lot of people are in denial. They trust, like I said, they trust a lot. And they believe that it can never happen to me. I'm covered. I have people that I trust around me. It can happen to you. The first thing I think that I would advise is guard your children dangerously. I will put it that way, because and then educate them. Let them feel free to come to you. Be their friends. Let them come to you if something happens. Educate them. Look for the right language to tell them what to do. Watch out for signs. Watch out for signs. And how do you stop all of this from happening? Sometimes it's very difficult, like you said, Ade Babes, where parents have to go to work. They need to pay their rent and all of that, or what have you. But the truth is, we have to look for a way out of this. We have to. It's something that is happening on a daily basis. It's a terrible thing. Just like we're looking for the vaccine for COVID-19. I mean, we should find a way. I can't give you a particular way to avoid this. There are so many ways you can avoid it. Where you can, if you can, be with your children at all times. Do not trust people around you. Don't just trust your sisters, your brothers, families, friends, neighbors, and think that they're going to watch out for your kids. I mean, to find that, I don't want to talk about this guy, but he came back the next day and asked the same child, 7-year-old, to come with him to the car where he actually did something else again and gave her the fruits to go back. That is right there. That is the fact that we're not paying attention. We should pay attention. We should pay. I don't care who is around you, your husband, your father, your mother, whoever. You need to pay attention. Never leave any child unattended. And if you have to go to work, I don't know what to say to you. I don't know. Because even if you decide to get or something, I mean, or buy a camera. Put CCTV in your home. And that's one of the things you can do, because if it happens, you're going to look for that money to do it anyways. You can get a CCTV camera or whatever camera and install in your home. You can actually call them periodically, because you see, these abusers, these children know them so well. And sometimes they prey on the fact that you don't check up on them.
Because they're so close to the family.
Exactly.
They're so close to the family. Exactly. It's not someone from far. No. It's always someone that's close.
Exactly. Exactly. If it's somebody from far, I mean, you would get to that point where you're like, I tried everything and it happened. And that child would live with that. But the fact that this person is being abused by someone who is really very close to you, to the family, is really bad. Because the thing is, like I said, get a CCTV camera. Call your children periodically, like sometimes, occasionally, like you're going out. Sometimes you're going for maybe shopping or to buy something for the home, or you're going to work. Leave a phone in the house with your nanny and tell them, I want to talk to my son, or I want to talk to my daughter, just to put that fear there. Because abusers, they prey on the fact that you don't call back. You don't check on your children. You give them that whole time and space for them to actually think about it and get to that point where they can now carry out this terrible act. So call. Oh, is she okay? Is she okay? Is she fine? Let them know. Listen, I'm keeping my child. I'm trusting my child. Like, I'm keeping my child here, and I'm sure you're going to take good care of this child. It still happens, but some of them get scared and they don't do anything. Don't let them feel comfortable. If you have to leave your child with someone, you need to let that person know, listen, I don't trust you enough. I am sorry, but I'm telling you, if anything happens to my child, I'll go to the authorities. Because of the fact that we don't say things, kids are being killed because they know who abused them. And these people don't want you to talk.
Yeah.
And so they kill these kids. And that's the truth, just to bury the secret. So if you let them know as a parent, if you have no choice and you have to leave your kid with someone, an adult, please let that adult know that you cannot do this to my kid. Okay, I'm trusting that you take care of this child. You can chat about it. When you have the time, you're not just going to jump out of your house. You're going to chat about it, right? Other babes, you're going to be like, you know what? This is the reality. Things are happening, and I'm trusting you to take care of my child. If anything happens, I'm going to the authority. And you find that they are afraid to do these things. They will never do them to the children, And even if they do, I mean, you know that you have tried your best. So asking me to tell you, that's what I can tell you right now. Find a way. Find a way to avoid these things from happening. When we have these kids, we take our time to look at them when they are little, 6 months old. People abuse 6 months old children. And you begin to ask yourself, where's her mom or his mom? Where did they go to? What happened?
Some of those videos that they put up on social media,
Where are they? Then are already
God.
knocked off with alcohol, drugs. They can't even think for themselves.
We have Azuka. Azuka says a lot of emphasis needs to be laid on the role of parents in protecting and educating their kids. Most adults are in denial and ignorant about what's happening around them and even online. In some cases, children need to be protected from some irresponsible parents. The law has to be tough on these monsters. Our justice system and law enforcement in Nigeria need to be revisited as it. Related to how these criminals are prosecuted, we have to do better to protect the vulnerable. Yes, thank you so much, Azuka. Kazim says, Catherine, well said. Negro says, it's sexual assault considered as an abuse.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. What's the difference between sexual assault and abuse?
The same thing.
Yeah, I believe they're the same thing. I believe sexual assault is a form of abuse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different types of abuse.
Yeah, there's different type of abuse. So sexual assault is a form of abuse. And even when parents are ignorant or ignore or don't take care of their child, is negligence. That's also a form of abuse. So
there
like
is abuse as well.
Yeah. So as Azuka said before, yes, some parents are not meant to be parents at all. Oh my gosh, they're not. They're like she said, some of them are irresponsible. Like they're ignorant of what is going on. You know this is going on. Like you don't need anyone to tell you this is going on. The fear of I don't want to lose my husband or my boyfriend. Like knowing fully well they're abusing your child or your children. Oh my gosh. Woo. Sometimes you just want to cry when you see some of these videos on social media. You just want to cry. The little babies. You're like, oh my, where is the parent? Like, what is going on? And then sometimes those are the parents abusing the child, and you're like, oh my gosh, God. Like thunder and lightning should just strike right there and then. It's so painful. It's painful that people can do this to like little innocent thing. Oh God, it is well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Catherine, for your inputs. It's something that we believe we're still going to come back and address because it is a topic that we need to keep talking about. It's not something we need to hide under the table. It is happening. It's not something that just happened or it's never happened before. It's happening and it's going to continue to happen. We need to continue to talk about it. We need to continue to call all these abuses. We need to call them out.
Absolutely.
We need to push for the law to be able to put some sort of directory out there and put names down. We need to know who these people are so that when they've spent time in jail, they've come out, even though they've so-called been rehabilitated, we still know that these people have been there's this embargo that is still on them. Because pedophilia is not a joke. This is not just about you. This is about not even another adult. This is about a child. Children. Oh boy. Any last words for us?
Yes. Sometimes some people don't come out because they are equally guilty of that offense and they know that people know. And so they cannot come out to help. you know. But I want you to set your conscience. I want you to know that you've done a crime, whether people know it or not. Your conscience will judge you. I want people to know that enough is enough, and this has to stop. And even if that child, or it's not your child, you still have the responsibility to keep that child safe. And if you notice any form of abuse at all being inflicted on a child, please report to the authorities. Report. It doesn't matter if it's their parents or the people around them. It doesn't matter. Just shout and let people hear until that child finds justice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Kazim that says, Ade Babes, thanks for bringing up such an important topic. Dr. Adisuyi says, should there be minimum jail time? It's not that should there be. There's no minimum jail time. There's maximum. I believe here in Canada, I don't know for rape, but in Canada for assault, sexual assault is 18 months. In Nigeria, for rape is life imprisonment. That's the maximum. Right. And then for sexual assault, it's 7 years. So that's the maximum for Nigeria. So to me, that is still something that is okay, but it's everything else that's around it is what that needs to be changed or needs to be looked into. So like Catherine said, we parents, we really, oh God, sometimes when you think about it, it really saddens your heart. We have obligation. Doesn't matter if it is your child or not. As a parent, as an individual, as an adult, as someone that is passing by or just hearing stories of this could be happening in someone's home, you have the right. In fact, if you do not report and it was found that you are aware, you can be charged.
That's right.
That's how bad it is. So when you come across such, you need to report. It's better to be sorry than say, oh, this is what we thought. And it comes out to say, oh, no, this is not what it is. Then, oh, I don't think it is, but it is actually happening. And God forbid what happens to the child or what keeps happening to that child. So please, let's make it our responsibility, no matter where, what, if it's the parents, if it's the grandparent, if it's the guardian, report. Please report. We don't have to wait for an authority before you can do something. We ourselves, we can do something. So we want to say thank you so much, Ms. Catherine. Please let people know where they can purchase your extension. Let them know.
Okay, first, you guys know my name, Catherine Adewale. I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor, and also the CEO of Vivi Lador Hair Extensions. You can see I'm wearing my wig. You can find us on Instagram, Vivi Lador Hair Extensions, and also on my page, View Real with Catherine, okay? And then you can also reach us on 416-856-0163 if you have any questions regarding real estate. Thank you so much.
Yes. Azuka says, well said, ladies. Let's keep pushing for the safety of our children.
Thank you, Azuka.
Yes. I need that extension.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I've got you covered.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much for your comments, for your questions, for your inputs, for sharing the content. God bless you guys. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles, Ade_Babes and Adiba Connected TV on Instagram, and on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click that little bell. Besides subscribe is the notification bell that lets our VIPs know when we put down any new content. So thank you, guys. God bless you. Stay safe and have a blessed weekend. Out.